Today we're gonna do a really wispy textured strip lash look, but my client today, Antonia, she hasn't had her lashes done in about 9 or 10 weeks, like a really long time. So she's got some really grown out old lashes on. So we're just doing a quick removal before we get started. And when I'm doing a removal, I use our Lost Artistry Lash Cream Remover. I love this product because it is very thick in consistency, which gives me lots of control and makes sure that it doesn't go in our client's eyes. So we want to put it as close to that base as we can, of course, without touching the skin. We always want to avoid touching the skin. And then I just have a piece of paper towel where I'm putting the grown out lashes. So I've just finished removing all of the extensions, and now my job is to get rid of all of the cream remover that is still left on the lashes before we go and cleanse them. So I'm using my lint-free applicator, a clean one. And just removing that solution. And then what I'm gonna do is take a glue wipe, actually, our Lost Artistry glue wipes, and I'm going to rub the remainder off. You wanna make sure that there's no solution left on the lashes, as much as you can at least. Not only does removing the remover before putting water on the eyes prevent it from going in the eyes, the remover, the leftover remover, it feels awful, but also it will help with retention later. So we want to make sure that we get all the remover off in order to get proper retention, because of course if we have remover left on the lashes in any capacity, then it's just not going to stick. The extensions just won't stick as well. All right, so it's all gone. Next, what I'm gonna do is cleanse her at my station. So I'm just gonna take these pads off. Alrighty, so when I'm doing a cleanse at my station, chin back, I'm gonna need some face cloths. I'm gonna need our Lost Artistry cleanser brush, something with very, very fine bristles. Soft, fine bristles, so that you can really maneuver all the way around the base. This is especially important for fills and for clients at home. And this is actually a bottle that comes with our nano mister. And it's amazing because you can put your warm water inside of the bottle, unscrew the top, and then you can use this as water while you're cleansing. So I'll do that in a second as well. And then I'm gonna be using our Lost Artistry Lash Bath for my cleanser. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some cleanser on my brush. I'm coming in, Antonia. And because she doesn't have lash extensions on, you can really go all over. And I wanna get these lashes as clean as possible because I've just done a removal. And it might look like it feels weird for the client, but it's actually totally fine. Most clients say that they quite like the feeling of it, actually. Now what I'm gonna do is hold my cloth on the side of my client's head, tilt to that side so the water can run onto the cloth. Open up my bottle and let the water run into the cloth. And pat dry. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the other side, same. let's assess Antonia's eye shape. So open up. And when I'm assessing, I always get the client just to look straight ahead and really look at the shape of the eyes. You can close for a sec if you want. So Antonia has an almond-shaped eye, which is ideal, but she's also sensitive to light. So I'm only gonna get her to open her eyes when it's necessary. Actually, while we're on the topic of sensitive to light, that's the really nice thing about having a light that, that is adjustable. So you can see here, we have no light. Well, we have other lights in the room, of course, but you can slowly dim them, or slowly lighten them, sorry. And when you do, then you can ease your client into the brightness of the lights, because some people are just sensitive to light. So they're gonna water a lot if you start with aggressive light right in the beginning. So you can start on level 1 and then move it your way up. So obviously we use our Lost Artistry Lash LED light, which is amazing, and that's just a really nice thing about it. And we also have adjustable arms, which is nice because we can move the light all around the client. So back to assessment. As I've said, she has almond-shaped eyes and she has a ton of natural lashes, and her eye shape is actually, although it's almond, it's much wider because she has an exotic eye shape actually. So her eye itself is actually probably 1.5 times as long as the average eye. So she has very wide eyes and very long eyes. So she actually, just because of how big and beautiful her eyes are, it's gonna take a lot longer for me to do her lashes. It's not unrealistic, especially with the number of lashes she has as well, for me to take upwards of 4 hours to do her set of lashes. And you really have to just assess your client and figure out the perfect timing for them, because some clients will be really fast for services and others will take a lot longer. So Antonia is one of those clients who does take me a really long time, especially when I wanna get 100% coverage. But there is a little hack for that. So you don't have to do every single natural lash in order for them to look beautiful. You can do the top layer, meaning the layer closest to you while you're working as the artist. And then you can also do that bottom layer. And then everything in between there will look complete, even if the top and bottom layer are the only thing that's complete. So I'm gonna start with that. I actually always start with that, the top and bottom layer, because once I have those, then if I run out of time, it's okay. The lashes will look complete. So for Antonia today, she has, open up. So she has a severe downward tilt to her natural lashes. They're very straight and they point all the way down into her eyes. Actually, in certain areas, especially on the outer corners, her top lashes actually intertwine with her bottom lashes because they are so straight. So in order to counteract that, I would use either L or D. I'm actually gonna use D curl on her today because she just prefers D curl and she loves that drama. So we're gonna give her D curl lashes, super long lengths, because we also have to counteract the direction of her natural lashes. So they're pointing down, so we need that extra length to really bring them up and make them noticeable, because if we use shorter lengths, it's just not going to pop up enough to actually give her the look that she's wanting, and she really likes dramatic lashes. So we're gonna work with longer lengths from, I'm gonna start on the inner corners with 10 millimeter and work all the way out. My longest millimeter is gonna be 18, but here's the thing, I'm only working with wispy texture today, so my spikes will be 16, 17, and 18 millimeters, but my set will actually go 10 to about 15 or 16. I haven't quite decided between 15 or 16. We'll just kind of work with it as we go. But I'll touch back on that later and let you know exactly what I've done, and I will also put a map at the end of this video. So let's get started. Let's do some wispy texture. For this example, I'm gonna be working with 0.03 diameter lashes in mega volume form. So I'm just gonna show you how I make those wide stem fans. And to assist me, I'm using our Ultra tweezer line. And this is our boot version. So our boot volume in our Ultra line. It's a really nice sturdy tweezer. So first thing I'm gonna do is grip my bundle of lashes, pull it off the strip, lay it back down on the strip. So I do it either in one of two methods. I either fan it out super wide like this fan, and then come in, gripping really close to that sticky strip, and I'm going to use about 95% of my pressure and lift the fan up and come over. Doesn't have to be perfect for this set. We're looking for texture, and 0.03 diameter lashes in Mega Volume. Because they overlap one another, it's not 100% necessary for them to be fully symmetrical. However, we do try to get them as symmetrical as possible. And this one, I could get away with. I would still apply this lash, but it's of course not perfect, and that's okay. And then another way that I like to make my wide stem fans is exact same thing, grip the bundle, and then I'm going to use the pinch method. When I pinch my lashes, just place it right in between my fingers, and shimmy back and forth. And then I've got a wide stem, long base fan. So you can use either of these, or you can also use short stem pro fans. That'll work just fine too. I'll show you those. So this is an example of short stem pro fans. I'll take it out of the wrapper so you can see. They're perfect every time, and they're so beautiful. Really wide fans when you're working with the short stem. So this is also a great option if you want to get through a set really quickly, or you're not super familiar with making handmade volume just yet. So know that these are a great substitute as well. So I'm putting my spikes in first. I always do my spikes first. And today I'm not focusing on them being super closed. I'm more focusing on them being a little bit closed, but still very wispy. And I'm just evenly spacing them out. So her eye's pretty wide. So I'm gonna do about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna do about 10 spikes on her lashes today. I'm gonna move from eye to eye while I'm working. And just take a note of our lash strips. So I cannot lash from a strip that doesn't have a brown or any colored strip that isn't black, because I need to be able to see the base of the fan in order to get really good control over the fan that I'm making. So we actually put a light brown strip on our lashes so we can clearly see that base while we're fanning. So if you struggle with making fans like I did in the past, then I found this super helpful. So maybe if you also struggle, you will find it helpful as well. It was actually a game changer for me. The right tweezer and good lighting is key. And direction is always important. So how do we have to direct our lashes in order to flow with the style that we're wanting and to make both eyes balanced? That's always in the forefront of my mind while I'm lashing. I've just completed my textured spikes. You can see. I always use my mirror to see how they naturally fall and make sure that the direction is good. Now, when you work with longer lengths like I have today, upwards of 18 millimeters, because there's no other lashes to kind of hold them into place. Oh, I lost the spike. I need to put one back on. That'll happen sometimes, but you can actually see what the spike looks like. So I gotta put another one of those back in there. But when you work with longer spikes like this, sometimes they're a bit wobbly. So they will kind of fall a little bit all over the place, sometimes, not always. But they'll kind of lean from one side to the other until you actually put your base in. So that's normal when you work with really long lengths, just so you know, if you don't already. So again, taking my mirror and having a look, making sure I'm happy with how they fall and how they're spaced. So again, I need to put one more right back in the middle of there. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then they look good. Now I just gotta make them dramatic and fill in the base. So we are all finished our Mega Volume Really Wispy set, and I'm just gonna walk you through the map. So what I did on the inner corners for the spikes, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I had 16 millimeters in here in the beginning. And when she opened up, I was like, nah. I had to take them off, and then I put 13 and 15 in the inner corners instead of the 16 because I just wasn't super happy with the result of how long they were. It just looked a little bit wonky. So anyways, I put 13 millimeter and 15 millimeter in this area, and then quickly into 16, 17, and then 18 all along here for the spikes, and then 17 along the outer corner again. And then on the base of the lashes, I used Mega Volume. I worked with all handmade fans, and I used 0.05 and 0.03 diameter, mainly 0.03s, and I did super wispy wide fans. So that's how I got the really textured look. So I used all D-curl for her lashes, as explained before, how her lashes point down, so that's what we decided to do. And then when it comes to the base of the lashes, and as I've said, those wide stem fans were used, anywhere from 7D up to 20D in 0.03 diameter lashes. And I worked on the inner corner with about an 11 millimeter and 10, and I even put a couple 12s in there, only starting about here. And then I quickly moved into 12, 13, back down to 11 and 10s. I really mixed lots of lengths throughout each section. My longest length was actually about here, where I put 15 millimeters, but I really only worked with a few of them on the top layer and most of the 15 millimeters on the bottom layer, because I did want distinction between the spikes and the base of the set.